All right, this is Rooster with Barbecue and Bourbon, and today we are doing a Beef Wellington start to finish. It's going to come out great. I can't wait to show you guys how to do this. This will be my first time solo, so we'll see what the bumps and fumbles are as we go. Stay tuned. All right, so au jus, step one. Got our beef bones with marrow. We're going to put it in the smoker, 425. Let that cook all down. Put that marrow all nice and yummy in there for about 30 minutes. And we're going to be adding into a cook pot. Letting it cook down with some other ingredients. I'll show you that when we get there. Alright, now we got to make our crepe batter. First, making some chives out of these green onions because I didn't get the chives before they ran out and my garden doesn't have any currently in it. So, cutting this up some nice chives here. Just like so. Alright. Those. I need about a teaspoon of thyme flowers, which I just pulled out of the garden. Pull these flowers off of here. Just like so. Teaspoon don't take much. Use a lot of this in the au jus that we're making. We got the bone marrow and the smoker back there, and the bones getting all nice and yummy. We're putting those out there. Alright, got some nice thyme now. Don't want those stick branches on this, you definitely, because grapes are real delicate, so definitely want to make sure you don't have no branches in there. Just the flowers. More. Let's try to get a little bit more. Alright. Got that. Okay, now it's time to make up our crepe mixture. So we got our mixing bowl, whisk, milk, flour. So 1 cup milk. That's flour though. 2 cups eggs. Here's our 1 cup milk. Alright. Pinch of sea salt in. Our flours, 1 teaspoon. And 1 teaspoon of chives. Just like so. Just whisk that together. Then it goes in the fridge for 30 minutes. After we get that done, we'll bring it back out and start making some crepes for our Beef Wellington. Boom. That's what your crepe mixture should look like. Alright, back to the au jus. So, we got our onions and a bunch of thyme we're going to put in there. Our chive, green onions. Then we got a small yellow onion here. We're going to rough chop and get in there. We're going to strain all this out, so we're just trying to get the flavor of all these ingredients in there. So you don't have to have no precision cutting going on with any of this stuff. However, I don't like the wrapper on the onion, so we're getting rid of that, by the way. Alright, so just slice that a couple of times this way. And we'll just bust it up like that. We're going to go ahead and throw those in the pot. Just like so. Alright. Just chop that down a little bit. Get those in the cook pot. You can already start to smell those onions coming together. It's fabulous. I love that. Alright. Go ahead and get our garlics in there real quick. Chop the edges on these bad boys. A little smash. Peel the paper. Also helps get the aromatics moving from it when you do a little crunch on it. Do the same thing with this one. Crunch. Makes it real easy to peel that garlic. This one's kind of a big, so I'm going to just cut it too. Throw those bad boys in there. Alright. Now we're going to get this wine open. We're going to put 2 cups of this wine in there. And we're using a red. Of course, right? Red goes great with beef. Pop that. We're using Phantom. It's a red blend out of California by Bogle. You know, I like drinking it. It's not bad. You know, typically it's all about the whiskey, but you know, sometimes you just got to throw down some wine. And tonight with Beef Wellington, it is definitely a wine night for sure. Just like so. All right. Okay, we're gonna put about a teaspoon of peppercorns in there, just like that. Teaspoon of rosemary. Now this is rosemary on my garden that I dried. Do a few shakes of AP because you know everything's gotta have some AP in there. Gonna throw us down a couple of bay leaves, just like that. That crunch one in there too. Get the rest of our chives in here, and just like so. 2 cups of this red wine. Just like so. We got our bone marrow. We're going to sneak out of there. And we got our bones, which also we're going to sneak out of there. They're a little warm, so I'm put on my warm gloves. My little fountains under there, so I can grab that. Just like so. All right. Got these back here in the smoker, looking all yummy. Take a look at this. Look at that bone marrow. We got tons of juice in there. Bone marrow, it's already been rendered out. We got our wonderfulness there. Red wine, onions. Yep. And throw that thyme in there. Just like that. All right, now we can get that bone marrow and those bones in there. All right, so we got these right here. We're just going to kind of get this bone marrow out of here. Look at that. Woo! Smells so good. The bone's going to go in there. And this bone marrow would leak out. I just like helping it a little bit. And this is for our wonderful au jus. Now, a lot of times I like to buy these bones that are already halved. Now, I don't have a machine to cut them in half. So, I have my skewer, which is a V skewer, so that works really nice for poking it out. Then we're going to grab these nummy nums from the already rendered bone marrow. Stick that in there. And we're going to let that go for 3 to 4 hours. We'll probably transition that on into inside the stove to cook along while we use this out here for our crayfish. Just going to bring this up to a simmer, 3 to 4 hours. Just let all that wonderful deliciousness cook down in there. The only thing we got to add left to it is 1 liter of water, and we are good. All right, we'll catch you back. Our crepe mix has rested for 30 minutes. We got our pan nice and cool over here. Now it's warmed up, but you don't want it real hot. You want it, low. And 1/4 cup. We're going to do about 1/4 cup per crepe. Now it's a little chilly out here, so my pan might not have been quite hot enough. But, this is my first attempt at Beef Wellington solo. I did it once with my father-in-law back in 2012, and this being 2024. It's been a minute since I've tried it. But I'm excited, because a good Beef Wellington is delicious. Very delicious. And we're just going to flip it over. You don't want these to cook to brown, okay? You want them to not be brown. Because they're going to be getting baked again. All Alright, this first one should be ready to go off. Just make sure you put them on parchment paper so they don't stick together. Just like that. That is good. Alright, well, we're going to finish cooking up the rest of these. Then we'll be back. Alright. Got our cast iron over here so we can sear off our beef Wellington. It's actually beef tenderloin. That will turn into beef Wellington. But first thing, we got to season this thing up real good. So we're going to get our salt on there. A little down here. Like so. And we're going to crack pepper. Alright. We're just going to roll this thing. Over here, try to get nice and even. Seasoning these ends. Get this thing shaped up a little bit. Alright. Okay. Now make sure we get the pepper all over there real good. Get it seasoned up. Tons of pepper, tons of salt. Nice crust on it. All sides. It's a big piece of meat, you can handle this. Alright. Get our oil in there. Get it nice and hot. Alright. See the oil smoking slightly, so I know it's ready to go. Okay, that's there. It's always a good sound, makes you happy. Just going to sear off each side. Get that nice crust on there. We're going to let it rest. Then we're going to start working on our mushroom golos. Go from there. Check out this tenderloin. Look at that bad boy. Beef tenderloin, here we come. Searing it all off. Gonna make a great Wellington. Alright, so we got it all seared off. Now we're gonna let it rest. We're gonna work on our mushrooms. Alright, so now for the mushroom dulce. Portobello mushrooms. I already got some baby bellas pre-sliced, so I didn't have to do a whole lot of extra cutting and stuff. There's already so much to do. Need about 4 cups of this. And I'm just throwing them in here. The Ninja, mixing it up. Make it a little easier on myself. So, this is what the mushroom should look like. I learned a lesson on the Ninja. Can't fill that thing up with no liquid. I knew it was going to be tough, but so I had to put it in really small amounts and then come back through and chop them up a little bit more. Just to make sure we got it. So, we got that. We're going to do our fresh cracked pepper. Get that all in here. Just like this for our mushroom dulce. I'm sure somebody knows who it is. If you guys know how to pronounce that, that'd be nice. But I'm not sure I'm saying it right. So we got our salt, pepper in there. And then we're getting our thyme in there. Just like that. Let's go ahead and mix this up a little bit. Then we're throwing it in the old cast iron to get all the moisture out of it. Once we get all the moisture out of it, we'll let it cool down a little bit and we'll be ready to wrap our Wellington. All right. Into the cook pot we go. This is going to take about 10 minutes. You're going to want to stir it constantly. All right. Well, I'm going to grab some more parchment paper we can lay this bad boy out on. And then I'll show you what that looks like when it's all done. And all the moisture's out. All right, you can see it's getting nice and dark. See the moisture bubbling in it still. I spread it out like this so that I can get as much on the heat to try to dispense as much liquid as possible. It's getting close. A little more moisture out of here, and then we'll pull it off, let it set for a minute, and start the first part of the wrap. After you get the first part done, you got to refrigerate it for a while. And since we're not going to be eating until later, and it doesn't take very long to cook after you get all this prep work and searing off and all that stuff done, it only takes about 20 minutes. So we will put it in the fridge and let it rest out with the initial wrap on it. And then we'll come back and show you how we do the rest of the puff pastry after that. But finish cooking these out. We'll be back. All right, so now we're ready to wrap. I have my crepes, which obviously it's my first time, but it's working. I'm getting every area covered. And then we take our prosciutto. Boom, just like that. Now we're going to spread our shrooms on there. All right. These bad boys all spread on here. All right, now we grab our tenderloin. Stick it on there. Take our resting juices. Pour them on. Now we take our plastic. We roll that tenderloin in there, just like that. And twist up the ends. Should have went a little wider with the plastic so I could get a little better twist on it. And we put that in the fridge until we're ready to throw our pastry on the outside and cook it. And that is it. Well, it ain't the prettiest thing. There it is, rolled in the pastry. Puff pastry. I'm gonna be throwing it on that smoker. There we go. Yep. All right. We got it all laced up. Come on in, show them, get that up close. Egg washed. Got the smoker rolling. It's going on. So just like that. Take it up to about 135 internal. And we are good. All right, well, we're about 22 minutes in. Let's check this bad boy out. Oh, look at that. Looking like a little piece of heaven right there. All right, it's all done. We're up to 132 degrees. We'll let it rest up to 135. Look at that bad boy. Woo!
Hey Lexi, take this from me and set it down. There we go. Thank you.